start charging, making a bit of a surge from behind now. Magnus opens with the English opening, not getting the memo yet about 1b3, but of course he can do that at any time in this tournament. Very early days here. He played the Sicilian in game 1 with black. It's basically a reverse Sicilian here. You put a pawn out on the c-file, you fianchetto your bishop, and there we go. He's played this even in World Championship matches, so something that Magnus has relied upon and very successfully in the past.
He's up against a FIDE master from Russia. Rogo is Magnus's opponent here in this round, and Magnus coming from a win. Is this an opening you would like to play, John?
I'm more of an e4 player myself, but a reasonable number of my games transpose to variations thereof. So I look at the pawn structure and I go, you know what, I'm fairly comfortable with this. I play the Sicilian with black, for better or for worse, depending on if you take a look at my game history. And one thing I would say is, regardless of result, I thoroughly enjoy playing these kinds of positions, because even if the pawn structures look similar sometimes, you get lots of piece activity, lots of chances to create imbalances in the middle game. And it's not just, oh, let's just whittle things down and play an endgame. It's very much, let's keep things dynamic, let's keep things fresh.
Yeah, and talking of dynamic, Magnus is taking some risks. He's worse, according to eval bar, much worse now.
Wow.
Rogov here has an advantage, and that's because the black bishop is going to appear on this square. From there, it's going to cut along this diagonal, preventing the white king from castling in the foreseeable future. That's a very, very strong move, as we see Magnus's opponent appear. And where's the white king going? Long term, it's an issue. Short term, it's definitely an issue too. This has been substandard last few moves from Magnus. It's not gone well. And if black can keep the queens on, it's going to get even more dangerous.
Wow. All right. Well, we have Matvey Rogo joining us on camera, 18 years old, and he is very good in online blitz chess with a rating of well above 2,800.
He's got Magnus's hairstyle as well.
Oh, that's well spotted.
That's got to be worth at least 150 rating points.
He's got the hair game going for him.
Very strong.
Yeah, very strong.
So in this position, I love that. White wants to swap the queens off so that not being able to castle is less of a thing. And Rogov here is very obviously trying to keep the queens on as long as possible, trying to keep things complicated, and trying to just bring more pieces to bear. I guess you have a choice almost, David. If you have this free tempo, for example, with the queen, do you use it to castle, or do you use it to hop in further? Is a knight coming in? Are we going to start seeing a bishop improve its position further and really entrench itself in white's position? Black has options here.
Black has a lot of options. You're 100% right there. And Magnus eventually decides to give a check. The black king could even move, I was going to say, vacating a square for the rook. Apparently not the best. Black could also have dropped the bishop back to block, but finding himself in a pin wasn't so attractive there for Rogov. And okay, Magnus is giving up a pawn. I'm not sure you want to take this one. There might be some tactics in the air. The black queen might be kicked to some awkward squares, but it's got to be tempting. At the very minimum, you start by bringing your rook across, gaining some time and staring down at the white king. Magnus is actually hinting that he wants to go the long side with his king, but that does not look safe at all. This is a huge, huge risk that Magnus is taking right now.
Cool game. Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces. Remember, 5 minutes on the clock, no increment, and Rogo is about to tick under 3 minutes on the clock. But it's looking good for him on the board so far.
Looking good, and he's definitely calculating what happens if you take this pawn. That is the most ambitious move, but it could backfire. The white pieces will gain time trying to trap that black queen. Other moves that come to mind, John, what would you be thinking of here as black?
Well, my blitz brain didn't want to play the rook move. I wanted to take the pawn because maybe I'm a little too materialistic for my own good. But with the idea being, because the light squared bishop is covering the square in front of the king, if the rook comes out to attack, you might be able to play black queen to c2, and then you've got some really scary mating threats. But because the rook's come out and Magnus has actually put his queen on f5, that wasn't possible anymore.
Wow, I think Magnus might have just mouse slipped. Magnus has just moved his king across one square. There's no explanation for that move.
No.
Is that... I'm trying to read into it. I think he wanted to castle queenside. He wanted to put his king across, defending this pawn, getting his rook into the game. Now he's desperately trying to scramble to get his king to safety. He's trying to trade off black's very strong bishop, but this is Magnus in huge, huge trouble. that white king is going to be weak for the rest of the game. And Rogov's doing everything right so far. Watch out, this black knight has got targets, weak pawns. He plays it, he finds the best move, and the white king is in so much danger. Magnus has been out of sorts this whole game so far.
Why do you see that it's a mouse slip and not a blunder?
I think there was just no way
It's both.
It's both, exactly. There's no way he didn't intend to castle queenside. There's no reason the white king is better on this square, cutting off the rook from the action in the corner. And yeah, you're going to feel real pain in the near future if black plays his cards right. I'm not sure whether you can take this because the white king will move, hitting the knight, and the black queen is under fire as well. Some serious calculation needs to be done, but he goes for it. I think he's calculated a checkmating sacrifice if the white king comes across, starting with rook takes pawn, blowing open the center. That is devastating. So Magnus has to go the other way. Now he's just a pawn down, dead, lost position.
Wow, we could be about to see a huge upset for Magnus Carlsen in round 2 against an 18-year-old FIDE master.
Now, black queen still under attack. 1:23 plays 2:44. If I know anything about Magnus, it's that it looks devastatingly lost. He's probably not favorite to win the game anymore, but he's come back from worse than this.
That is true. I think the clock is by far his biggest hope. Not necessarily to win on time, but at least to provoke a mistake from his young opponent. There we go, already trying to turn the momentum, trying to gain some time by hitting the black rook. That bishop is captured though. The black bishop will appear on this nice long diagonal very, very shortly. And another weak pawn. The problem for Magnus is he's got a weak king. He's got a rook trapped in the corner. He's got weak pawns everywhere. And his knight on the rim, not so dim for now, but could find itself in a bit of trouble. Yeah, everything adds up.
And this sequence of moves, okay, both players technically have a rook in the corner, but the idea now is that black should be able to get his rook out a little bit faster by playing the bishop out. There's an opportunity to play the king back across. We're repeating once, and 40 seconds now. I think Magnus is now evens to come out with this game.
Wow, and Magnus doesn't repeat. He could have forced a draw there, as John mentioned, by bringing his queen across. That would have been the third time we've seen this position. Magnus knows he's got a lost position here, but he's playing for time. That is so, so brave. Will it backfire, though?
Wow.
And things are going wrong for Rogov. He's clearly panicking. He's self-pinned here. Magnus is back. He's alive.
Oh, the bar is swinging in Magnus Carlsen's favor. He is 2 minutes up on the clock. Rogo, 22 seconds left, but much better on the bar.
Oof, this is massive risk by Magnus. He brings his queen up one square, though. He's giving back the pawn now, Rogov. And yeah, it's just about the kings. Whose king is weaker? That is the big question. For now, I'm assuming it's white. And look at this. All the right moves. 16 seconds, but he's doing everything perfectly. The rooks are invading on the second rank now. White's king is cut off. The rook in the corner trapped. Look out. The black queen is threatening some nasty checks. That's checkmate. Magnus has blundered. Checkmate in 2 moves. King across is the kiss of death. The black queen is coming in. Rogov wins.
Whoa, huge upset for Magnus Carlsen. He loses with the white pieces in round 2 to 18-year-old Matvey Rogo from Russia. What a win for the young Russian. He beats the best player in the world. And already a loss for Magnus Hikaru Nakamura. He lost in round 1. Huge upset there.